Hello, everybody, and welcome to Geek of Thrones. God is a Geek's weekly Game of Thrones podcast looking at Season 6, Episode 1, The Red Woman. It's far too many G's in the opening intro, but we'll roll with it. Joining me today, well, my name's Dan Murphy for starters, and joining me today is Mr. Chris White. Chris, how's it going?
It's alright, mate. How are you?
You know, I'm pretty well. The only thing that's like grinding my gears at this current moment in time is that it keeps snowing in Sheffield, where it's April 27th now, and when I went into a lecture this morning it was sunny, and when I left it was snowing, and it's just not on, it's wrong, it's
shit.
abhorrent.
It's shit. Winter isn't coming anymore.
Well, we shouldn't be talking about snow. We should be talking about one particular type of snow. Wink. I guess we should just, well, before we hop into and talk about the episode in detail, what are your general thoughts on the season premiere? Because me and you, we've not talked about it at all together.
No.
I have no idea what you think. You might have seen my thoughts on our chat on Slack and God is a Geek, but I don't know exactly anything about what you think, so I'll lay it on me.
Okay, so it set a good scene for the kind of tone of the season. It wasn't like massively special, but when you've got the show like with a caliber as Game of Thrones, it knows what it's doing, and there is a lot of good bits in the show. A lot of subtle bits that I like. Just I enjoyed it. It's not one of the best, but it's a first episode, so you know.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought that every time I've been asked this question, I've said the same thing. I think solid, unspectacular, some good setup, but it's just set up and it was spread quite thin, in my opinion. I think a lot of scenes could have been cut out, or even just make the episode was really short. It was only 50 minutes.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was finding that weird.
So I feel like they could have extended it, cut some scenes, and concluded the wall.
Yeah,
I feel like we could have had the end of the wall standoff,
definitely.
which would have been a good ending to that, you know, because we all know what's going to happen there.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised if it went the other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it felt like episode 11 of season 5 rather than episode 1 of season 6. You know how most in Game of Thrones it usually happens where the finale is really episode 9 and then the breather episode is episode 10 for setting stuff up for next year.
Yeah.
Whereas last season we had in the episode 10 we had Jon Snow dying and everything else that went down, Cersei's walk. We didn't really have that chance to set up new stuff.
No.
So I felt like this was what that episode was. This episode was. It was a lot of setup, a lot of establishing where people are in the world, but not much happened really. There's only one area which you could say something's definitely changed in, which we'll get to in a minute. So shall we hop into recapping the show and whatnot?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Right. The opening scene. I'll set the scene. Howling winds zoom in on the ice wall. A slow zoom into Castle Black and onto Jon's dead body. Ghost is locked away and howling / mourning. Davos comes out to investigate the noise. He finds Jon's dead body. The rest of the Snow loyalists arrive, including Ed, so he's not dead, thank God. And they take him inside. Melisandre later comes in and says, "I saw him in the flames fighting at Winterfell. She's wrong again." Okay, what do you think of this opening scene? I've got a few questions. I wonder what you think.
Okay, so for the way it opened was like quite touching, to be fair, with like Ghost howling. It was really sad because obviously we didn't see Ghost in the last.
Well, that was a question, wasn't it? Like, why the fuck's Ghost?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, always senses danger whenever the kids are in trouble. Why is he not coming out and just ripping throats out? But he was locked away. I wonder if it was if the brothers were smart enough to do that, or whether that was just.
I think they were. I think they knew because they kind of planned it meticulously for him to come out and be
that's true.
Blindsided. But yeah, I think it was just a nice start to kind of get straight back into Jon Snow. You know, we know he's dead now. We kind of knew anyway, but it's he's definitely dead. And it's nice to see his loyalists with him and Davos kind of taking leadership a bit. I still think he's going to be a massive part of this season and. He knows his shit. Like he's going to be integral, I think, in the whole story of the North.
Yeah, you are right there saying that he's coming out to be a leader when all he's been is so subservient to Stannis. Like he breaks ranks every now and then to like save Gendry. Yeah. He's one of the few characters in this world that has a genuinely good heart through and through. I think him and Brienne, probably the only two. Yeah. And like at the start, Sansa maybe Jon. They're the only ones who have like a genuine. And Samwell, obviously. I should shut up because this list is like deteriorating my point. But Davos is like one of the few who has a genuine.
There's a hell of a lot more dicks in the world than there are people with good hearts.
But you said then that the brothers were smart enough to lock Ghost up. Why were they not smart enough to take John's body with them? Why did they leave it in the snow?
Because they
to be
want.
discovered.
Well, I think they want to show people that they believe
Yeah.
that they made the sign and everything.
Do you think they wanted to make it a bit of a mystery, but then as the unrest was getting too much, in the next scene, Thorne just quashes it and says, "I did it," just to quell the unrest?
I think they were just, there was no mystery about it. I think they were just happy to have him displayed as a traitor.
Okay.
Which leaded on to another nice scene with like Thorne at the foot of the Night's Watch, and there were people pissed with him. Like people were angry.
Well, that's interesting then.
Yeah, you didn't see that in the last series. You assume that everybody in the Night's Watch was unhappy with Snow, but that's not the case. It's evident it's not the case. Not everyone is. So I like that. I like that kind of side of it.
Well, like you say, in the next scene, there's unrest in the hall in Castle Black. Thorne and I think it's Yarwick and I didn't catch the other guy's name, but the Master Builder and the Master Steward, I guess.
Yeah.
They were at the high table, and there's, like I say, it's weird because there's obviously people in the hall who don't know that's John's been killed, but then there's also Ed and the 6 or 7 other White Walkers, Night's Watchmen we don't know, with Ed and Davos, who obviously didn't know either and discovered him.
Yeah.
So, like, how did the people who killed John, so Ollie, for one, the steward, and, you know, there was a good crowd around John. So how did they all keep this secret, and how did nobody notice? Like, how did Ed and Davos not notice when they were actually fucking killing John?
I don't know, but, like, I was saying to my wife when I was watching it that it looks like it's literally, like, only a few hours after it happened.
So which is a bit of a problem with the Game of Thrones thing, because the timeline is a bit skewed all over the show here. But
yeah, but I mean, I think there wasn't that much time to kind of have to hide the fact that they'd done it. And as I say, I think they're quite proud of the fact. That's why they've left him to die and rot. Okay. Sorry.
Obviously, Thorne makes this quite good speech from his point of view. Like, we, as viewers, we all hate him because, you know, he's killed the hero. But what do you think he did from his perspective? Do you think he did the right thing? Like, he doesn't know that. He doesn't really know about Hardhome, really. He's not seen it, so no number of words will do justice. You know, he's been fighting these enemies all their life. You know, they're the ones that have raped and reaved, apparently, the land.
Yeah.
Was he right in his point of view, and the rest of the brothers that did it to kill John, do you think?
Right, as much as I dislike him, if I was in that position, and I lived and breathed the Night's Watch, he kind of has a point. He never disobeys an order, like he says. He hasn't, like you say, he hasn't seen Hardhome, he hasn't seen those White Walkers, he hasn't seen what Jon Snow has seen. So he's protecting what he's always known to be fact and his beliefs. You know, he's going to fight for them, and if he thinks they're under threat by this person bringing in the wildlings, who they've always known as this, you know, people that rape, people that kill, people that murder, I kind of get it. As much as I dislike him, I kind of understand where he's coming from. Yeah,
I guess that explains why he did let them in with the wildlings earlier. Like, he didn't betray the order. Like, the order was open the gates, and he did it. The final scene in the wall before we move on was Ed comes out with the great line. He says, "If you were planning to see tomorrow, you picked the wrong room," which I thought was brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I said, I like Ed, and it kind of annoyed me a bit that there wasn't more scenes of, like, them explaining to Thorne what happened, and then Ed was nowhere to be seen. But I'm glad he's here now. And Davos reminds everyone of who else owes a debt to Jon Snow, and it's fairly obvious where Ed is off, is it not?
Yes, the wildlings. It's going to
be good, isn't
it? What's his name?
Tormund, Giant's Bane.
He'll be there.
Wugwun.
He'll be there. He's definitely going to be fighting for Jon Snow. He's, you know, so that's going to be awesome when they kind of fight for his
Storm the game.
Yeah, which is
going to be funny because it will kind of justify Thorne's fears at the end. He made it, like, it was his fault that it happened, but he's going to end up being right, isn't he, in the end?
Yeah, definitely.
A weird set of circumstances that he brought it on himself. If he hadn't killed Jon, they wouldn't have done. But it's, you know, what he said is going to come true. And obviously we'll talk more about Melisandre at the end. Right, in the next scene, before we move on, we're still in the north. There's a nice scene. Well, there's a scene that threatens to humanise Ramsay, of him being sad at Miranda's death. And just as we thought, oh, Ramsay, you lost your paramour, he decides to feed his body Her body even to the hounds.
Yeah, even in mourning, he's a cunt.
But even then, even in that scene as well, he was like disturbingly like threatening to the Maester, saying, "You certainly were scared of me. This guy looks like he's been looks like he's had to deal with screaming children for all of his life." Like, oh, that poor guy. Imagine a Ramsay at 13 just fucking beheading rats and like putting poison in food and stuff. And then Roose talks with Ramsay, very calm, very composed, and basically threatens him again with the possibility of him not being the heir to the North and all that. Do you I think I don't see because our podcast first episode died. I guess had to remember what's actually been published and what's not of what we said. But do you think Ramsay rebels against Roose, or do you think Roose is going to be the only person who can keep Ramsay in check, and he's just going to motivate him to go and find Sansa?
I don't think he'd rebel against his dad. I think Roose is very clever. He's a very smart man. He knows what he's doing. I think it's his kind of way of motivating Ramsay. You know, even though on the look of Ramsay's face, he's uncomfortable with what's being said. He knows to be true. So, you know, I think. Do
you think he kills the pregnant wife?
No. Well, I won't put it past him.
Ramsay's a sadistic little bastard.
Yeah, it's not like against his moral code or anything. But I don't think so. I think he'll die before any of that.
I could see him killing Roose. I don't know. There's just something about it. That's the way Roose is hedging his bets. Maybe, I don't know. I could just see it happening. I agree. I think Roose is the one guy who is capable of not controlling Ramsay, but like getting him on side kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm deliberating it. Anyway. Yeah. Next scene, we have Theon and Sansa. Are we calling him Theon now? Is he heard about the name Theon?
Yes, Theon. Right.
So Theon and Sansa are running through the woods and freezing rivers to get away from the hounds, which I like them being those like big fat basket hounds or whatever they were. They take shelter, but Ramsay's men catch them, and just as they're about to be taken away, in comes Brienne and Podrick to save the day. Now, I'll tell you something, I love Podrick killing someone. How cool was that?
He's awesome. He's so good, yeah.
I think they made it believable how he's still not that capable, like the other guy battered him. But he still managed to kill someone, like, and without, in a battle, it wasn't like he's snuck up behind someone stabbing through the face.
Brienne was going to. She said she would train him, didn't she? So there's obvious signs of it because he stabbed that guy.
We don't need to see that to understand. It's like, he spent months traveling with one of the best fighters in the kingdom.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously, he's going to pick up some stuff. Just not how to tie horse knots or whatever it was.
Yeah.
This scene, obviously, Brienne and Pod get rid of them, and Theon for that matter, get rid of the Bolton men. Do you care about the dogs disappearing?
I didn't think about it when it happened. But, I think they were just sent. It's either just pissed off because all the men died and they thought, fuck it.
There was a few things in this episode that stuck out to me. That was a bit weird, but this one didn't. I'd never noticed it. It's like,
I didn't notice it until today. But yeah.
They probably just ran off or were killed off screen. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I think the scene with Brienne putting the sword down to Sansa, and Sansa doing the words back, just like Catelyn did.
Yeah.
That was beautiful, was it not?
I wrote in my notes like special moment in capital letters, just because it was just beautiful, and I love the fact that Podrick just kind of helped her along. It's really sweet, and now like that little group of people is going to be really interesting because they were kind of teasing it all throughout the last series of the meeting, and now they're all together. It'll be like Brienne's she's just awesome. So
I'm just scared that they're going to go out of the frying pan and into the fire and go up to the wall. Which, if they get there by the time the wildlands are done, then everything will be golden.
I think by the time Sansa gets there, Snow will be back.
Oh, that's interesting.
Whether he'll be in the same mind, I don't know.
Like you're saying, episode 3's number is like he could come back as a white. No one's like really thought of that.
I think he'll come back as he was, but like I always go back to the statement that the Maester tells him is that kill the boy so the man can be born. I think he'll come back with the same kind of mindset, but just a lot stronger and a lot more
harder, maybe a bit harsher.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to happen.
Episode 3 is called Home. A lot of people. I think Sansa's going to have that Stark garb on by episode 3.
Oh God, how beautiful is that going to be when they reunite? It's gonna be
I think
awesome.
Sansa's going to be back. Not Sansa, sorry. Sam's going to be at his home by episode 3. I think there's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of reunions in episode 3.
Yeah.
Hopefully, or hopefully else it's not backstabbing me. But another thing about that scene that kind of it's so subtle, and like I don't know if either character really knows what's happening, but that sword that Brienne lays down is made from Eddard's sword, the Stark sword.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
it's
think
kind
of
of
that.
like Eddard like protecting Sansa again.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
just
No, that's
like really sweet, and just not no one there knows it really.
no. Yeah, no, not
It's
not
just
thought of that. I forgot that. Yeah, that is nice.
it's just sweet, isn't it? Do we feel like Sansa's safe now? Like she's gonna be all right for at least a while.
Yeah, definitely. I think Brienne, she's strong enough. She's got a powerful she's strong in the mind, not just in strength, and she will do anything for Sansa. And I think I'd be happy to have her by my side.
It was also good. Yeah, it was also a good moment for Brienne as well, because she finally completed her vow. Like she'd been denied twice by Arya and then Sansa.
Yeah.
And then she managed to kill Stannis, completing one vow last week.
Yeah.
And for once, luck wasn't cruel, and she managed to find Sansa. And anyone saying complaining that how did she find her? Like there was barking dogs. Like come on, it's a bit obvious, isn't it?
Well, she was kind of on a tail anyway.
I thought all this scene was beautiful for me. One of, like I say, not really. I just thought it was really sweet, and everything about it was just very nice.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite scenes, definitely.
Next scene, we're leaving the north and going back to. I didn't think we needed any of King's Landing, but this scene, first with Jaime, I did like. So Jaime arrives back in King's Landing. Cersei is buzzing because she's told that a Dornish ship is coming to the harbour. And did you play the Game of Thrones Telltale game?
I didn't. No, not all of
You
it.
didn't, right? Well, the woman who tells Cersei, no, sorry to interrupt you, that woman has the exact same voice as Mira Forrester in the Game of Thrones game.
Oh, really?
Who is a handmaiden. She's Marjorie's handmaiden in the game. But I don't want to spoil the game, but I don't know how it'd work, if she's still alive.
Right.
In the video. Oh, I've just spoiled it, sorry about that. It's shit, don't worry about it. I just think it's the same actress who played that woman in the game is doing not a named character or anything, but
yeah,
it was the same voice and she looked like the same person. I clocked it straight away.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's an interesting nod. Anyway,
yeah,
Cersei's really happily, you see the smile on her face. She's running down to the harbour. She's on her own. I thought it was really a nice contrast between the scene of when Marcella's coming back to when Marcella went. Because when Marcella went, there was loads of people there. There was Joffrey, Marjorie, I think. Everyone was there. Sansa it was, sorry, and Tyrion and the priests and everything. And then all of the people there that time was Cersei and the Mountain. And then she sees Jaime on the boat. The golden shroud over Marcella's body. And Cersei's face. Like the performance from Lena Headey on that was quite brilliant, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, the performance in that whole scene was really good, and it's kind of opened up a new, she's you can see her changing from this stern, heartless woman to someone who understands she's a monster, and she even says about Marcella's death that she was good, she wasn't like me, and if I could make something so good and so pure that she's not a monster. And I thought that was a really beautiful line.
Do you think Cersei seems defeated to you? Obviously she mentions the prophecy. Does she seem like maybe she thought all these years until now that she'd beaten the witch's prophecy, that that wasn't true, and everything is gnawing at the back of her mind, and now it's exploded in her face and she feels defeated?
Definitely. I think she is beaten. She's been through a hell of a lot, but Jaime, as always, gives her that talk, and they both know what they need to do.
Stirs the fires, doesn't it?
Yeah, and
I think that scene from Jamie's brilliant. The music in the background was just so fucking oh shit is about to go downwards. I thought, like I said, I don't think we needed much of King's Landing. The next scene, unless there's anything else you want to say with Jaime and Cersei.
No, only quickly. Bronn. Where was Bronn?
Yeah, we didn't see Bronn, did we?
I'm assuming he was on that boat coming in.
Yeah, and someone else was who we'll talk about later.
Yes.
Maybe we'll talk about Bronn when we get to the other boat scene then, because But Bron's back. Like we think we talked last in the preview episode where I think Bron is reunited with Pod because he's the one grabbing him by the neck and all that type of jazz. So we'll see him again, I think. Anyway, next scene, Marjorie in the dungeon with Septon Dickhead. She seems very scared, Marjorie. Like, she reminded me of a mouse, like, scurrying into a corner.
Yeah.
And, like, they could have done a better job of making her look shit, because, my God. Whew, the heart flutters.
Oh, I know.
Then the High Sparrow comes in, and I hate him, mate. He's so good. He's, like, snide, but he's so kind. But you can just know his kindness is just full of fucking hate. And he boils my blood. But, like, Marjorie says she's done nothing wrong. And, you know, and then the High Sparrow uses the reasoning, if you're a sinner, if you're not a sinner, are you perfect? Which the fucking pisses me off as an argument. How did you find all this?
Right, so I'm 100% with you. It was hard for me not to get angry at that scene as well. Without going into religion and all that kind of side of it, that kind of attitude is infuriating to me because
she has done nothing wrong. That's the annoying thing.
No, she hasn't. Yeah, exactly. And it's just the kind of holier than thou mentality. Do you know what I mean? It fucks me off. And I hate him. And I just hope that he gets fucking slaughtered.
He annoys me.
Yeah, in a brutal way, because he's just a twat. He's just horrible.
Because he's not wrong, and I should, as like how my political beliefs sway, I should like him because he's for the people and all that. He wants to keep the powerful accountable. But in the same way, it's like no one's perfect, and I wish Margie had said that. But like, and you know, it's just clear how this type of reasoning is how they fucking chip away at people's psyches.
But
you just know that's what happened to Lancel, how he became a fucking robot, how Cersei was just broken down. Because that's maybe why the one reason I can justify this scene, because just seeing just that line. You just know that's what they do to everyone. They break them down, saying, oh, "You're not perfect." And obviously, no one thinks they're perfect. It just breaks them down slowly.
But that's what it does. They control with fear, the fear of God, and it's like the fear of God. That's what they've got over everyone, and that's why it pisses me off. And you know, I mean, the Lannisters have control with a certain different kind of fear, but there's leeway. It's like you can't do anything without them being there to judge you, and it's yeah.
I just can't wait. I hope Mace Tyrell fucking teabags that nun. I hate her so much. Oh, his face. She's just got such a hateable face. Oh,
I know, and it's the way she like rushes to like hit Marjorie, and it's like,
and then she
off.
like scurries away. It's
yeah,
like, oh.
She's like a bad mother, like who hits her children.
Yeah. Did you think we needed this scene though? Like I said, I think this scene
absolutely
and
not.
A couple of others.
No,
yeah,
absolutely not.
It just felt like, I don't know, like it felt like it needed to remind us
it
that
does.
the Sparrow
It's like,
was there.
Remember Marjorie, this is where she is. It's like we know where she is.
Yeah,
we know she's
I think it was
like,
more to remind us
somewhere.
the situation and everything. It's like we didn't need to. We know
we saw Cersei walking through the streets naked.
Exactly. In America, they either have like 4 minutes previously on before the episode, and then before the episode broadcast at 2 a.m. in England, because the sad always stays up to 2 a.m. They had the last 2 episodes of last season on before it. So it's like, I'm caught up.
Yeah.
I know, and I don't need to be. I don't know, stuff like that kind of reminds me up when they need.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess they shouldn't presume prior knowledge sometimes.
I think anyone that's like a fan of Game of Thrones will just go on YouTube and watch like a recap. Like if they know that
if they like it but don't get it, and if they don't get it, then they know they don't get it, so they're not bothered if they don't get it.
Yeah,
it's weird. I didn't need that, and I feel like it extended the episode, spread it thin when it didn't need to be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I don't know. Anyway, I think the most surprising scene of the episode. How wrong were we?
Jesus, I know
Dawn is back.
That's the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, bollocks.
Our death predictions fucked from the off just a bit. Right, well, Doran, who has the grout, is walking, which was weird to me. Walking with Ilaria Sand and Tyene and Idio Hota, and they sit down, looking over the water guns, and a message comes through to Doran about Marcella. Then Tyene stabs Idio Hota, which is the big dude with an axe, in the back. Ilaria stabs Doran, and then Tyene throws a knife into the Meister's back. No guards react. It seems pretty clear that all the guards are on bored with this revolution or whatever the fuck's happening.
Mm.
What's up with Dawn, man? I think from what I hear, like book readers, it feels like they rushed this all of Dawn now, like massively. Feels like they know they fucked up on it, and now they're just getting rid of it or rushing it all. And I feel like, why did they get Alexander Siddig if they're only going to kill him after like 5 scenes?
Oh no,
Siddig's so good.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing with Dawn. I can see why the snakes would be. I know we're going to talk about it shortly, but coming to King's Landing, they've got revenge on their mind for things that have happened. But the whole Dawn, I don't know. I'm not. It's another aspect of the show which they're going to try and fit in, and there's just so much already that needs to happen.
Exactly.
I just feel it'll be rushed like it was last season. So yeah.
And I feel like the problem they've got with Dawn is that they undersell it. They sell, even on the map of the intro show, they say Dawn, and it's not Dawn. The place, their castle, palace, whatever, it's called the Water Gardens, and it's like the southern tip, and it's called Sunspear, and then the castle bit is the Water Gardens, and it's right at the bottom of Dawn, like right at the coast. Dawn is fucking huge. There's so many houses there, like Hightower and I think Dane, like big houses, which we'll see of this year, I think as well, are all from there, and it's like a mountainous region. It's massive, so many houses, so it's like a wild land on Wiley, and they're making it seem as if it's just one castle. They make it seem so small, and obviously the Martells are the rulers. Well, they were, because no Martells are left alive at this point, or at least what we've seen in the show.
Yeah.
I feel like they're underselling it so much because they feel like they're rushing it. I don't know why they just the HBO like fucking like template is 10 episodes and that's all they can do because of all the budgets and stuff. But like, cut other scenes out, then cut some Sam and Gilly stuff out and flesh out Dawn a bit, or do it earlier, or just take your time with it more. I don't. Oh man, I don't know.
You know, with them like fitting in Dawn and fitting in like Marjorie's scene, it's still being 48 minutes. Is that a worry? Like, have they not got enough to tell, or I don't know.
But I feel like they do have enough to tell. They're just not telling it.
No, I know.
I know they have to simplify some stuff down because you can't quite portray everything in paper onto the screen. But I feel like with this, just from what I've heard, just from the amount of characters' names I've heard mentioned, and they're not even in this at all, and how people were really looking forward to Dawn, it's just been such a disappointment, really. But like, I don't know. What do you think happens with Dawn now? Is Alaria a bastard, and the Sand Snakes bastards? Are they the rulers of Dawn now?
I would assume so.
Sunspear?
I would assume so. I have no idea where Dawn's going to go, but to be fair, it was never one of the kind of aspects of the show that I massively cared about, so it can't really do any wrong for me. Like, wherever it goes, I'll go with it.
How did you like? Did you like this scene? This scene of them killing. What did you think of it? Like, without the stuff of Dawn.
So
knowing it's the only scene that anything really happened in, apart from the Brienne scene.
Yeah, I think I don't know if I liked it because I quite like the prince, but it seems the Sand Snakes are going to have a massive role, and I don't know. I think it was definitely a good scene because I wasn't expecting it, and it kind of shocked me.
Yeah.
And
I wasn't expecting Dawn for one.
No, exactly.
We got our fucking second attempt at the preview episode out, and the day after a trailer came out which showed the start of the scene, I was like, "Fuck's sake!" And then, Doran, Lady Hota, and later Chastain, all wiped out. All the Martells wiped out. As I say, I think there's a few more in the I believe I picked this up on the episode of last season. When they make peace, that Doran says to Ilaria, "You had niece to 4 of my children, or 4 of my brother's children. 4. We've only seen 3." So I don't know. And I always had the impression that the Sand Snakes all had different mothers. I thought Tyene was the mother of, the daughter of Ilaria. Then the other 2 had different mothers because they've got different ethnicities. I don't know if they're all. It's really weird at this point. I'm unsure. I feel like they've botched it so badly, and now they're just trying to rush through it so they can get to the stuff that more people like. But I don't know. It's disappointing to me.
I really like the Sand Snakes. I wasn't a massive fan of them, but I don't know. There's something about them.
Well, we'll go to Chastain. There's the boat. See, when I first read this bit, is what confused me. I thought they'd sent fucking Chastain back to Dawn at first. I was like, what's going on here? And then after rewatching, reading and stuff, he's in the harbour still at King's Landing. He's been left on the boat, which after you presume just so Cersei doesn't immediately fucking murder him, which fair play, that makes sense. Then Obara and Nymeria, or Nym, are in King's Landing. They get on the boat that apparently has no guards, or they've killed all the guards, and kill Trystane. Now, Trystane is a fucking idiot and he deserves to die. Why the fuck would you turn your back on someone with a big fucking spear? No idea, and he gets it through the face. I actually like that. Some people it doesn't hit for some people, but I actually quite like the "you're a greedy bitch" line. I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah, it was.
So how did you think of and this was obviously the most brutal death of the fucking episode. What did you think?
It was quality.
Thing is, you knew it was coming. It was still like, ugh,
yeah,
fuck, that hurt.
So the last scene of the last series where Jaime set sail, are those two?
No, they're all on the harbour.
Right, okay.
But I've seen people say this.
I was just curious.
I think they easily could have got a smaller boat, a swifter, because they were on a massive cruiser type thing, weren't they? Like a royal cruiser. It wouldn't surprise me if them two just got on a swift boat a day later and meet them there. Yeah. Or I think it's known that the Dornish horses are like the best, so they just fucking rode really quick to King's Landing.
So that's so with Tristan living in Dorne, you'd think he'd fucking go, oh shit. There's a boat.
you'd fight. Oh
yeah.
It's pretty. Poison. Oh, what's that poison? Oh, Bronn at least, who knows that he's just been fucking done by his poison. It seems like no one's really talking. And I feel sorry for Sustain because he obviously loved her, and I was excited to see what they did with him. He's painting the eyes of morning or whatever they are for Marcella in the boat.
Yeah, I know.
And then he gets stabbed through the face.
I assumed he'd be thrown into a cell, and that's clearly not happened. This is death.
I think Jaime clearly knew that it wasn't him, and then kept him on the boat just to stay out of Cersei's way, or maybe send him back eventually. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know why they send him back, but it's like wait till everything settles down.
Yeah.
And decide. But yeah, he's dead. All the Martells are dead. And they obviously Obara and Nymeria are at King's Landing now. So are they going to war with the Lannisters? They seem to have a people behind their revolution.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think they're going storming King's Landing?
I would like to see it. I think that's definitely seems to be on the cards, doesn't it? So.
Well, the thing is, they're villains now. Like,
oh yeah.
Does anybody? I like Ilaria. I think Ilaria is decent, but I think her decisions are coming from anger and are wrong. Whereas obviously Doran is right, and he's Oberyn died in a lawful way. It was his fucking fault.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I feel like Doran was. I can understand the stuff about them complaining about Ilaria, the sister.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one, Dawn. I wonder. Do you think we'll see them again this year for one?
I don't know. I'm not going to say anything after last time. So I reckon. Yeah, I reckon it seems to be they'll be back at some point. I don't know though.
Right. Well, leaving the weirdness of Dawn, I'm going to Meereen, where Tyrion and Varys are taking a nice stroll through the Meereenese streets. They have nice banter. Tyrion says he wants to eat a woman's baby, whereas Varys has to take care of him. then Varys says something like, "I'm not a boy anymore," and then Tyrion says, "Because you've got no cock," which was quite funny.
You have no cock.
Yeah, you've got no cock. Again, I thought a pretty needless scene and a fucking eye-rolling scene when all those boats went up to Cinder. Not going to Westeros for a while, so what did you make of all of it?
I think, it's just... It was a little pointless, but it's good to see Tyrion and Thingy just like banter again, because they are two of the best kind of characters when they're both together. So it was just kind of another scene that showed you them, reminded you where they were and what was happening. So yeah, it was fine.
There's a scene of them in like a courtyard, and then there's we're obviously meant to know that somebody's watching them. Is that meant to be anyone specific, or is that just a spy telling us that maybe Varys isn't quite as clued up as he thinks he is, and
I think
they actually are?
I think it's a random. I think it is a spy. It's no one important. The important, if it was someone who was the leader of the Sons of the Harpy, they'd be somewhere out of plain sight. I think it was probably just a spy, as you say, to show him that he doesn't know everything.
Yeah. Who do you think the leader is? I'm still subscribing that I think Dario might be him. Maybe, but do you think it'd be weird to introduce someone? I don't know. I think that if we're doing it off someone we have seen, I think by process of elimination it has to be Dario. But I'm not sure.
Oh God, can you imagine?
But again, we met Dario so far away, so I don't know how he could be the leaders of this revolution that is based in Marinese history.
I mean, you think there's something else to him, don't you?
Oh,
So
was
it's possible.
how did? No, Dario didn't help conquer Marine, did he? He helped conquer another city.
Yeah, it was the one before, I think, wasn't it?
It was another city, wasn't it? Pardon?
No, I was just saying it was the one before. I think it wasn't.
Yeah,
Marine.
I think that. So he definitely wasn't there at first, was he? So,
No.
so he has no. He's been in the fighting pits, but they never said Marine fighting pits. So I think there's something more to him, but I don't know. It feels. I don't know how. I think you're right. I think we've not seen the leader yet. Yeah, all the boats are burned. Is that annoying? It's fucking annoying to me. It just seems like they keep putting it off and off and off.
Yeah.
Just get him to fucking Westeros already, man.
I can't wait. I just want. Yeah, I think that. I mean, something could happen. They could find some boats from somewhere. Someone will come and meet them, and I don't know. It is a bit shit because you do think it's going to happen quite soon, and then the boats burn, and we're left waiting once again. So.
Next up, we have Dario and Jorah out looking for Dany. They come across a burnt ram. They're talking. They seem to come across. To me, I feel like they came on some common understanding, some mutual respect. I don't think Jorah never looks at Dario when they're talking. He's always eyes forwards. I think there might be. There's obviously jealousy, but I think they're both coming together for the common cause of wanting Daenerys to be leader and all that. And I actually thought how they found the ring was quite clever and made a lot of sense. Before the season, I was like thinking, oh, here we go. It's going to be bloody Aragon, the master tracker, somehow find this ring in a fucking haystack. And it was actually really clever when you think about it. Oh, yeah, of course, loads of horses would make loads of tracks and there'd be a bit of ring in the middle. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was good. I think Jorah and Dario... I think Dario's kind of got that smugness to him because he knows that Daenerys likes him over Jorah, but I don't think he's a dick about it. I think he's quite. It's like he says, like you're a romantic. I like that. And he also says something that I really like, was when he says, "I want to see what the world looks like when she's conquering it." You know.
Yeah, I think that shows like and like Jorah like goes, "Oh, me too." I feel like he
they're on the same
understands that they
page.
both want the same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if one of them's been a spurned lover or whatever. But yeah, I thought. See, again, I don't think this scene was particularly needed, but it was only 2 minutes, and they showed that. I feel like it makes sense. Like, oh, you're following the dragon trails. That makes sense. Burn lambs. Dragons probably do massive shites. They probably fly in a straight line. Like, it makes sense. You can follow a dragon.
Yeah.
And then I thought that was really clever. Actually, I was quite like, oh, obviously. But yeah. Then the next scene. No, this is a weird one. Dany is at the back of the Khalasar being whipped and pulled along. Two Dothraki are talking about her pussy hair and fucking her in the ass. Was this strange for you? I was like, this seems weird. But then at the same time, like Daenerys is kind of in control because she's like, she knows what they're saying, they don't. So it's like she's just like playing the stupid blonde.
I think I think the only kind of thing it did was show you what kind of mentality the Dothraki have. They're just
like they are like horse people. They're very uncivilized. Well, they've got a culture, but they're uncivilized
and they're wild
by normal standards.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was the only kind of purpose of it.
It just feels jarring to see her getting treated this way. But we're not seeing her treated in like 5 years.
Yeah, I know. It's weird. She's kind of gone back to the start. Weirdly.
Yeah, well, she's right at the beginning now, isn't she? But it feels like, I don't know, it felt kind of like she was in control almost because she had that card on her chest and saving it for the right time.
Yeah, but
and then
oh god, it's fucking awesome when. Anyway, we'll get to it. But go on.
The Khalasar's Khal Moro, and his riders, they're all chilling together. The 2 blood riders and 2 wives, you suspect. This is also a very funny scene when Khal Moro is talking about seeing a beautiful lady and theme for the end of the episode for the first time, naked for the first time. Is there anything better? And then his blood riders are acting like knobheads and just taking a piss at him, going, fucking breaking a city, breaking a horse, and he's just like, seeing a beautiful woman is one of the 5 greatest things in life. I was like, this is kind of funny.
Yeah, it was good. It's funny.
Does this Khalasar strike you as a bit younger and a bit not as intimidating as Drogo? There's something about this Khal. He seems too well trimmed to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
his beard.
I think Jason Momoa's a beast.
He's an intimidating folk, isn't he? He's just his eyes. He's like his eyes are like 2 inches into his skull.
Yeah.
So it just looks like a grizzly all the time.
And he was a lot kind of uncivil. I know, more kind of just like wild animal Drogo was. He didn't talk much. He was very intimidating and kind of you didn't know what was in his head. Whereas this guy's a bit more level-headed. He's a lot smarter and like my favourite bit about the scene was when she surprises them all by
I think I know exactly what you're going to say, 'cause I agree.
Yeah, speaking the language. And then she's going, I am Khaleesi, I am Mother of Dragons, I am Stormborn, I am fucking the dog's bollocks, the bee's knees. Yep. And he goes, you are no one.
I love it. Because I love how they laugh at it. It's like, yes, finally someone's taking the piss out of a stupid name. I was like, fucking get in, Khal Moro. I like you.
So that was awesome.
Funny. And I think...
Yeah.
They just laugh at it and say, you are the queen of nothing was quite good.
Yeah, you are the queen of nothing.
It was the millionth of her name or whatever. I thought that's cool, that, and I think it's funny. But then as soon as she says, "I am the wife of Khal Drogo," whoever, it's like, oh, and then they were super respectful straight away. But
and then she thinks she's out of it, like she gets out of it again.
And if you just take me back to Marine, you will be paid for. And like, no, you're going to Kathleen, I believe it is. Well, the city's based Dothrak, and it's the temple of the Dos Caffeine, who are like the old crones of the thing. So she's not in mortal danger. She's not going to get raped or anything now. But she's being kept, as is their tradition. So what's going to happen? Do you think Jorah comes in to save her, or do you think the dragon? Or
I think the dragon.
Do you think she gets out of it by herself? Do you think she can reunite all the Dothraki? Yeah. Well, if she tells these, remember these crones are the ones who she eats the heart in front of. And they say that...
Right, okay.
They say, they do the prophecy of she'll have the kid that melts the world or whatever. If she goes back and says, the kids I had with the dragons, and the crones are like well revered in their culture. Did they unite the crones and then unite all the Dothraki? She could have another Dothraki Khalasar on her hands.
Possibly.
Potentially. And, maybe them two turn up to save them, and she's already the boss of the whole Khalasar. I think that'd be cool because it's not making her a damsel in distress who needs saving. It's getting her to save herself. Yeah,
I mean that's definitely a possibility. I mean, I don't really know. I think for me, she's only ever going to get out of it with Drogon flying overhead because you see him in the trailer. Like,
I think Drogon will help. I think that'll like fulfill the prophecy. Maybe he'll come down and she'll touch her and like command him some way and like be the mother, and then they'll all like bow down to her. I think Jorah and Dario get there, feel like they need to save her, and she's already like, "Yeah, boys, we off," something like that. Something really funny. I think she'll have it. I think she'll have a Khalasar again at the end of it.
Right. Okay.
And anyway, another scene I didn't think we really needed was Arya in Braavos. She's blind, she's begging, she's listening, which is an important thing. So she hears something about Meryn Trant, which she obviously did. Then the waif comes out, says, "Are you listening?" Batters her with a stick, takes the mick out of her, and then says she'll be back tomorrow. I think it's pretty obvious what's happening here, is it not?
Yeah.
But she getting the Daredevil treatment.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the only way it's going to go. But that's kind of cool. I mean, that scene is pretty dull. And it just makes me hate that girl even more. Like, put her in a room with the High Sparrow and the Squire, and just get the dragon to burn them. Just fucking, I hate them all. Like, just get them all together and just kill them.
Yeah, I noticed something actually. When she's begging, there's already a coin in there that's round, and then the guy, we see a guy put a coin in, and it's square and looks a lot like it has a pattern on it, like the one she had from Jaqen.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you think that coin has any significance? Obviously, she loses it when she gets the thing knocked over. But do you think there's any significance in that coin, or is it just a coin?
No, possibly. It's could have some significance to what's happening, but I think with her losing it, it was just like a reference to where it came from. I don't think it's going to play too much of a role, but yeah.
Do you think as well that with this blindness, it's been like used to, she's training her to fight, but she's training her to listen. And I think there's something about Syrio Forel tells her in the first episode. Remember, he's from Braavos. Something about that your eyes can trick you.
Yeah.
And all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I think that.
Do we see Syrio again?
Well, that was possible. Well, I don't know, but there's a chance. But with the blindness, that's always kind of played a part in the whole of the series. Like, I remember talking ages ago to you about the scene where it's like season 3 with Arya and Melisandre, and she mentioned something to her about
I see darkness in your future.
yeah, and and something about actually being blind. I can't remember the words now, but
Mm-hmm.
it's always kind of gonna been it was always in a kind of destiny. So I think that's where it's going.
Again, remember in the previous episode when you mentioned a lot about how they might find their warging powers?
Because yeah,
I've been doing some research on that, and
cool.
there's theories that in the books, because all the Stark children have dreams about them being in their wolves.
Right.
And obviously the dream is that Arya has is that she has a dream of that there's a wolf leading a pack of wolves on some grave on the battlefield and just killing everything and eating all the dead bodies and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously that's Nymeria who got let go of.
Yeah.
Remember, Bran only became a warg when he fell out of the thing and became disabled.
Oh shit.
It seems like a traumatic experience in the lives of these kids activates these powers. So Jon's dead. That's pretty traumatic. That's pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
Arya's blind.
Yeah.
And we know with Rickon, he's a mess. When we saw him, he's in the crypts. He was like controlling the dog pretty much. Are we going to see more of all these Stark children being able to walk? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I
hope so.
think
let's hope so.
I think like Jon Snow as well. That could be interesting. With him being like Targaryen, well, we don't know, but being part Targaryen, will he take control of the dragon?
Targaryen.
Well,
He's Targaryen.
Oh yeah, he is.
It's got to be.
But like he has the ability to maybe take like warg into the dragons. I don't know, but yeah,
it's all spitball, isn't it?
Yeah, but it could definitely happen.
I think there's something in all these Starks. I think, apart from Sansa, because her wolf dies, so they'll never get activated. But with the others, you never know. Anyway, next scene: Thorne and Davos negotiate. Thorne says they'll die if they don't surrender by nightfall. Davos is friendly, perhaps a little sarcastic with the "I want some mutton," but he's friendly. He gives no reason for them to provoke. There's a nice nod to one of the brothers says Dolores Ed, which is like his nickname in the books because he's a bit more prominent in the books.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Then, so what do you think of this? And then Davos says, "What about the red woman?
You haven't seen her do what I've seen her do." I think he's awesome. I think he's showing kind of a leadership, and he's kind of not being stern with it because there's not a like I think he's got confidence in the people in that room and what's going to happen. I think I think we're going to see the end of Thorne in the next episode, and I think it'll obviously have something to do with the Red Woman, but we'll see. But yeah,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Hold. How many people are at Castle Black now? Because I remember counting at the battle, and I remember thinking, I think a lot of them died. I think just under half died. How many was in that room? At least 6. Then Ed went out. Jon's dead. Do you think? I think one of them says 40 armed men. Does that strike you as a fair
I think so.
assessment of how many they've got?
I think there's about 40, 50 in that room.
Okay. And how do you think? He says there's always the Red Woman, Davos. What do you think Davos means by there's always the Red Woman? What does he think she can do at that point?
Was he not there when she
was. She gave birth to the demon baby.
That was fucked up. So like he's seen her do some weird shit. I think she is on their side. It's clear, and I think she's gonna he won't use her to do anything. She'll be willing to do it herself, and I think we'll see some weird shit go down with that, whether it involves Jon Snow or not. But then she's lost, isn't she? After
shall we discuss?
Yes.
Final scene. Melisandre's taking off her clothes.
Yes.
Which everyone thought, oh, look at her, she's getting her kit off again, and by God, is she getting her kit off.
Fucking hell.
She takes off her clothes, she takes off her necklace, which flares red, and it's revealed that she's an old, sagged, crooked-backed crone. Centuries old was the word that Vice or Wenyoff, one of the two, said inside the episode. Well, my thinking on this is that she says she knows Stannis. Everything she thought was Stannis was wrong. She goes in, she sees Jon dead. She goes, I saw him fighting at Winterfell. She thinks that's wrong. Then she realizes, and she knows that she's wrong, she's a lie, everything she was told to lie, and she's a lie. I don't think she takes this off and goes, commando every night. I think that she needs to look her real self in the eyes and to galvanise herself or just to be depressed. I think she's broken. So what do you think?
No, I agree. I think it's kind of just symbolises what she is. And she's just a broken, lonely, she's got nothing. She feels she may not have anything left. And she goes to bed sad and alone and lost. And I think it's quite a good symbolic scene to show us where she is in her head. So yeah, I really liked it.
Do we see her as herself as we know her again?
I hope so.
You're dirty.
No, I think yeah, definitely. I think that's where she's kind of most powerful. I think something will happen for her to trigger kind of belief again, and it'll be kind of like maybe a scene where she's alone with John. And something flares, or she sees something, or there's some kind of prophecy or something.
Well,
or
it's interesting.
Yeah, or maybe she dreams. She has a dream that night or something. Okay. I don't know, but she'll be back. She's got to be. I think for John.
Okay. Well, yeah, exactly. My interesting thing I've been looking to that scene we talked about earlier when she's with Forrest and Mia, the other Red Priest that brings Beric Dondarrion back to life. Beric, I don't even know if it's that scene. I think it was just Theos. What's he called again? I forgot his name. Thoros of Mia talking to Arya in the cave about how he can bring the Beric back to life.
Yeah.
And he says something like, I didn't have faith, I'd lost all my faith, and then he came back to life. So I didn't believe or whatever. He said he was like on the edge of his beliefs. And then in the scene, I think it was either last season or the season before, when when Melisandre is in the bath and Stannis' wife comes in, and she says something like, the tricks with the flames are lies, the tricks to get people to see the actual truth. She's lying so people can see the truth. Is her own God playing that trick on her? Possibly. By lying about Stannis so she can see the truth? And she's on the edge of her faith now. Like you said, will she see something that reignites it and she brings back old Johnny Boy?
Oh God, that's quite interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see. I think it could have been playing tricks on her, or whether he didn't want, maybe it was a test for her, because she's obviously we see her as this all powerful, all knowing person, but she's shown she's a frail and weak. Maybe she doesn't know everything. Maybe he's testing her. Maybe he's testing her resolve or something like that. Maybe he's leading her in a way to get to John. So,
yeah, it was definitely a somber and sad ending. It was nothing quite like Well, episode 4 was Arya and the Hound walking out of that pub eating chicken.
Yeah.
What was the first episode of last year? Can't quite recall.
Oh,
it was Stannis riding in to bloody save the Night's Watch.
Yeah.
And everything else that happened. It was the first time that a season opener has been quite somber, I think, rather than quite galvanising.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Do you think this season?
There's a lot about setting the scene, wasn't it, and just remembering, like reminding people. There was things to take away, but on the whole, it's quite a quiet, as you say, somber kind of mood to it, which is fine.
This episode, no Bran, the big one, no Littlefinger, no Euron Greyjoy. Weird, not seen any of those. I don't know if I've missed anyone else off who we've seen recently. Obviously Bronn, but we saw where he is, if you get me. We've seen his location.
Yeah,
they're the only three we've not seen. People we've seen recently, they're the ones, not like we haven't seen Frey. Oh my God. Were you annoyed that we've not seen Bran when this season's his return?
No.
Was it not weird to you?
No, I think it's going to come in its own time, and I completely trust the writers and the creators of the show. I think it'll be at the right time. It could even be as soon as the next episode.
So that's the episode. Again, thoughts the same, just solid, unspectacular, quiet, not bombastic or anything.
No,
just setting up for next. I feel like I'll give it a pass for now, but if they don't finish the wall, like if all the brothers aren't dead by the end of next episode, I'll be pissed off.
I think it.
So I don't think dragging that out for 3 episodes is taking the piss a bit.
No, I completely agree. I think it needs to end so that the real fight in the north can begin.
Yeah. Well, should we get on to the preview of next episode? We're going to talk about the next on little 30-second clip now, listeners. So if you don't want to know any of that, you want to go into next episode completely blind, then tune out now, because that's what we're going to talk about right now. So see you later if you're going. Preview. You've only seen it once. I've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'll run through what's on that
Yes.
video real quick time. Bran's back. He seems to be waking up in the roots of the trees, so surely this next episode's opening with a flashback of the Tower of Joy, or maybe a montage running through Ned's eyes of Tower of Joy, Jamie killing the Mad King, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
That's surely we're getting that flashback this episode, or even the scene of him with the Night's King.
Yep.
Definitely getting that next episode.
So.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I think that'd be cool as well.
we've got to. Do you think this episode went back to like early seasons when they spent 5 minutes with each place and moved on? They have to spend long with Bran, don't they?
Oh, definitely. He's been
They
gone
have to
for a
give him
whole
15
season.
minutes, 20 minutes of just Bran catching up with him and the
Yeah.
tree crew.
I think you find one episode will have a good solid, up to half an hour, 40 minutes with him, because they have done it before where they focus on one particular thing, and if he's going to be integral to the whole show, then there's no reason why that won't happen.
See, my worry is I don't think they will. There's a lot of stuff in a lot of like quick snippets in that preview, and obviously they could just do everything else really quick and focus on Bran on the wall. But I'm scared that they're not. I'm scared that they're going to do every little bit of snippet. We need to spend a bit of time with Bran. Next time we get the City Watch, or the Lannister Guards blocking Cersei. It was the Lannister Guards, not the City Watch. Ignore me.
Yeah.
The Lannister Guards blocking Cersei on the King's orders. And then the mountain intimidates them, and it looks like they're going to step aside pretty quickly or be skewered. Is Tommen stopping Cersei from seeing him?
Yeah, because they say by the order of the king.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, but
why do you think that is?
Where are they going? Like, are they going to do something? Well, I don't know. Because why would he stop him if it wasn't to do with Marjorie? Or
I think Cersei's going to see Tommen.
But they were.
I think Tommen's stopping him from seeing her. But why would he do that?
Or is he? And is it not the Sparrows? Maybe he knows nothing about it. I don't know. I don't see why he would stop.
Maybe he's pissed off because it's Cersei's fault Marjorie's taken.
Yeah.
If somebody took fucking Natalie Dormer away from me, then I'd be getting armed guards to not make them anywhere near me.
Yeah, true. It could be. Or, it's something to do with the walk of shame that she did. He doesn't want to see her again. I don't know. But I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it's not got anything to do with him.
We'll see. There's a scene. I think the scene in the trailer is when Cersei picks up his chin and smiles at him. I feel like she's wearing the same stuff in that scene as she was in the scene in this preview.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're blocking him. They're blocking her from getting to him.
Yeah.
And obviously that's not going to last very long because mountain.
Oh God, yeah.
So I just wonder who's blocking who. Like, it says King's orders, but are they the King's orders and all that stuff? I think that conversation, but I think that might be the one I think Tommen's going to reject her.
Really?
Yeah. You've done this, you're horrible, pull her away, and that's going to be what breaks her. And goes, right, you're going fucking squashing these Sparrow cunts. I think that's what's going to happen. Anyway,
Possibly, yeah.
Sansa and Brienne are talking about Arya. So Sansa knows that Arya's alive.
Yeah.
At last. I don't know if did she already know that? Did Brienne say anything in the tavern?
I don't think so. I would assume she thought she might have died at the Red Wedding, maybe? I can't really remember now.
I don't know. I can't remember if... Well, no one's heard of Arya. No one's heard of Arya since the first season when she left King's Landing.
Yeah, she just maybe she didn't then. Maybe she had no idea.
I can't remember if Brienne's already told her that she's alive or not. I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Anyway, either way, she knows now. They're going to talk about that. I only see that being a conversation of deciding where they're going. Nothing much more. Maybe they find out because they thought that's Theon. They have to do something with him as well.
Yeah.
Then the waif batters Arya again, but then it appears that she hits Arya gets a shot on target and the stick's caught. Then I'm pretty sure it's a man's hand, so I think the waif's going to turn into Jaqen like that. Yeah. So that'll be how we see Jaqen again.
Yeah.
Then we get Ramsay talking about storming Castle Black, which probably leads to the Battle of the Boltons and the Wildlings.
Yeah.
Jaime talking to the High Sparrow in Baelor's Sept. That's brilliant scene in the trailer.
Yeah.
He does get a knife out and threatens the High Sparrow, so maybe he kills him right there, and then that'd be brilliant. He's pretty much cornered, isn't he?
Yeah.
Then we get the Night's Watch breaking the door down, thankfully, with all of them pointing crossbows at the room. And finally, Tyrion in with the dragons. I'm not sure that we're actually going to see that scene.
Really?
Maybe we will, but I feel like that's just something they're going to put on the end of every preview.
I think
just to keep it mixed up.
Yeah, I think even if we do see him, it'll be just remember the dragons, and they'll be there, and they'll blow some fire. They won't play any role in anything for a while, I don't think.
So yeah, anything else you think we'll see next episode? That's not on the next on.
I think with Sansa, that's kind of. I mean, we talked last series about the North playing a big role. I think her mindset is to unite the North, to take the North back now that she's got Brienne on her side. So that's where Theon will potentially go back to,
Pike.
And get his people back, and
okay,
they're going to Castle Black. I think there's no doubt about that. But they'll unite the North to get rid of the Boltons, to get rid of all the people that's wronged her, because she says in the trailer for the show, like, she wants revenge essentially. So
thing is, I'm just worried that
uniting them.
We've not seen like Sansa in the North. We've seen her with Stark, Garbon, and then we've only seen Brienne and that in the Riverlands. So I don't know if something happens that they end up going south to the Riverlands. I'm not sure. I don't know what happens there, but I'm looking forward to the next episode. Like I said, if they smash the wall stuff, if we see Bran and it's satisfying, I'll be happy with this episode. But I feel like if it's anything less, then this episode will feel like it's dragging. So it's very dependent. But overall, pretty good, and I'm looking forward to it. Solid start, would you say?
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Speaking of solid starts, that, my friends, is the Geek of Thrones podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back for more. I hope you find us insightful, because that's what I hope to be to everyone.
Yeah.
I've not even thought of an intro for this, so I'm going to have to just do the normal thing.
Freestyle.
That's it. God is a Geek stuff, yeah. Go to patreon.com/God is a Geek. Throw us some money, if you wouldn't mind. A couple of quid, that's all we need. Just to help us do more podcasts, more articles, more features, more previews, travel to events, all that jazz. Because we do stuff for you. For you, listener.
Every one of you.
Exactly. You can go to youtube.com/God is a Geek for all our video stuff. Go to podcasts on your iTunes for Geek of Thrones or God is a Geek. Go to Twitter @God is a Geek for Twitter content. Facebook, God is a Geek, we're on there. And of course, GodIsAGeek.com for all your writing, gaming pleasure. I think that's all left to say is, Chris, where can people find you on the internet?
So I only really use Twitter, so you can find me at Twitter at FirstAvenger83. Yeah.
And it's at Mabrowski for me, as always. And there's nothing left to say but goodbye. Say goodbye, Chris.
Goodbye, everybody.
And it's goodbye from me. C'est la vie.
Awesome.